want to go ahead and introduce yourself for the audience?
Sure. I'm Zach Wood. I'm senior producer at Sony Santa Monica.
All right, cool.
And this is Hohokum.
Let's take a look.
This is a nice sorbet palate cleanser to the Helldivers you guys just played.
Is it? Would you say it's more difficult or less difficult than that last mission?
This game is 100% stress-free.
Okay.
100%. So yeah, you're this character, this curious Technicolor flying. We call him the Long Mover. And it's really just a game about exploration and discovery, and a lot of surprises.
Okay.
So like in this environment, this is called Fun Fair, which is sort of themed around like amusement parks. It's probably the busiest, most kind of bustling place we have in the game. So these characters, as I fly past them, they just jump on my back. And they want to go places and do stuff, so I just kind of fly them around. And so the game is like 17 different worlds, and every world has their own cast of characters and objectives and things to do. So there is kind of like a main thing to do in every world, but it's not super obvious. Like it's not presented to the player as soon as you come into a place. It's like, it kind of reveals itself to you over time.
Sure. I'm just so relaxed just looking at this game. All the troubles in my life are just kind of fading away.
Yeah, you can really kind of get lost in it. Like here, these guys will jump off. They want to get into the Ferris wheel, and then I can spin the Ferris wheel up by just kind of spinning around it. And this little piece flew off.
All right.
So I can go and pick that guy up.
If you guys have any questions about the game, Eric Tay has the Twitch chat over there.
So that piece turned into a roller coaster.
So this level here, how does this fit in sequentially? Is this like the beginning of the game?
It's non-linear.
Oh,
so
okay.
you can go anywhere, anytime. It's not gated by completing a particular world. You can just go and travel and explore all of it at any time.
Okay.
Like this one here, I'm trying to find these characters that match the statues. And then it gave me another one of these pieces, which I can take back to the roller coaster. So the controls are really simple. You just move with the analog stick, left analog stick. You can speed up with the X button. You can slow down with the circle button, and that's really it. And you can also get a little boost of speed by wiggling the stick back and forth. And kind of get some momentum. See that? So you're really kind of like this expressive thing.
Yeah.
But everything has kind of a reaction in some way,
So this level that we're in here, you mentioned that you don't really find the objectives at first, right? You kind of have to like explore around. So give us an example of like what a kind of like typical activity or objective. I hesitate to even call them objectives if that's even what it is in this game.
So like the example was, well, here I'll do another one. So here there are these lights that are a little bit gray, and there's some electricity here, so I can electrocute myself and turn these lights on. And so you can see they all turn on. So there's like a reaction there. It's kind of cool that the users won't be able to hear this, but the viewers won't. The electricity comes out of the speakers of the PS4.
Oh yeah, the little
nice
controller
little touch,
speaker. Is there any of the touchpad?
Yeah, it's kind of a work in progress right now, but basically you can interact with the player this way, and it actually records what I just did, and it'll just keep playing it until I let go. So I can do things like little figure eight, and it'll kind of follow my pattern. I just fell off the screen. But yeah, I'll just do like a little circle.
So this game being non-linear, being kind of, I mean, it's a very abstract game, very non-conventional game. What kind of, is there any sense of overarching progression to the game as you kind of move from one area to the next? Do you have the sense that you are building up to some type of conclusion or anything?
Yeah. So one thing we haven't really shown yet, we can talk a little bit about, is that there's this sort of thread of a game of hide and seek that sort of runs through the entire game. So you start out in this space with a lot of your friends that kind of look like you, and they all jet off to all these different spaces. And so when you complete, kind of like the main activity in each world, then that friend of yours reveals himself and goes back to this like home world. So there is kind of like, and at the very end, you'll gather back with all your friends and sort of like restart, you know, a game of hide and seek. So that's kind of the connective tissue. It's not really a story per se.
Right.
But yeah. So by just turning all those lights on, I have another piece to the roller coaster here.
At what point do you ever come to the realization that you're done with a particular environment? You've kind of done everything that you can do here?
Yeah, we can kind of do that. So in this one, it's about the roller coaster. So finding all the pieces. So I can kind of show you what that looks like. Here's the tail piece. There's one more. But yeah, there is sort of a celebration of you doing kind of like the main thing. What's up here? So there are these cars that need to find the missing characters there. So I'm missing one of this purple guy and the yellow guy. So I'm gonna find them.
This is one of those games where you would just, me personally, I would just die to be a fly on the wall during like the pitch process of this.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, so check it out, guys. You're a line. There's a purple guy, there's a yellow guy. The pieces of the roller coaster are missing, but don't worry, we're gonna get them back. Also, the music is awesome.
There you go.
That's Hohokum.
There you go.
And then it becomes a PlayStation 4 game?
Yep.
That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
I mean, yeah, we've had our eye on this game for a long time. The Honey Slug and Richard Hogg are the co-creators of the game. We saw this game back at IGF at like 2011, so we've been talking to them for quite a while, and you know, they're familiar with the kinds of games we make at Santa Monica, and sort of, you know, I think we're known for, you know, kind of helping to help teams like kind of realize what their vision is. Like, we don't, you know, we're very supportive in that way.
And that's always been one of the things that's been really cool about Sony's approach to indie games over the years. It's not just the action-oriented indie games. Like, Sony has given a lot of support to those very artsy, abstract games, that game company type of approach to stuff. So it's nice to see this trend continuing on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, we're really excited about it too. And you know, these are the kinds of games that really motivate us. You know, kind of like boundary pushing, innovative, you know, sort of you know, not the norm.
Right.
You know, this is the kind of stuff that inspires us. And so, yeah, and they're a lot of fun to work on.
How's the chat doing, Arete?
Doing all right.
Yeah?
Doing pretty good.
Is there another environment you can show us?
Yeah, sure. We bounce around. This is one that's called Kite World. So you'll see kind of the sense of every space being very, very different, even though there's a connective like art style to it.
Yeah.
So like in this one, if I run past these like spinning trees, they're kind of like doorbells, and these people pop out, and they jump on my back here, and they pick up these sort of pine cone looking things. And so if I take these up to the mountains, they'll turn them into kites. And so that's kind of like the main thing of this world. The music's pretty key to the experience too. We were it was interesting because like early on when the guys were conceptualizing the game, they had a playlist of different artists from Ghostly International, the record label, and we reached out to them, and now we're collaborating with them on the soundtrack for the game. So all of the music in Hohokum is artists on the Ghostly label.
Oh, okay.
So it's artists like, you know, Taiko and Shigeto and Mishna and Ben Benjamin. So that's been really awesome. We can kind of come full circle and actually work with some of the musicians that inspired, you know, the early designs of the game. So that's been really awesome.
This must be a tricky game to demo because it's very different. It's very, you know, it's very expressionist, and I'm sure that you must get a lot of different reactions from a lot of different people, huh?
Yeah, I tend to, like when we've been at trade shows or whatever, I tend to not explain it first. I just kind of like pass the controller, just like, hey, check it out.
Yeah.
Because I think it does a better job than I could ever really, in like a couple of lines, like describe it, you know? And yeah, people just kind of tend to get lost in it, and even if they don't know what they're doing, they just sort of seem to have a good time. And that's the kind of reaction we'd hope for, So I'll show one more area, just kind of get variety here. This is called the Guano Factory.
The Guano Factory?
Exactly.
Aww.
So these guys collect this liquid.
Is that guano? Is he collecting guano right now?
He's collecting guano.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's fine, To each his own.
This is what they do.
That's what happens in the Guano Factory.
That's exactly right. So you collect some of this stuff, and then I can come down here. And start to fill up this vat. And I can travel down these tubes. Have to wake up some of these lazy drones too. These workers are all falling asleep.
So sad.
It is one of those just mesmerizing kind of games where I know I'm hosting right now and I should be talking, but it's also very easy to zone out and just kind of go.
No, I don't. Yeah, I play it every day. I'm just working on it, and time just goes by, and you're like, oh my god, what time is it? Yeah, you just sort of get lost in it. And the music and the sound and the artwork's so beautiful, it just kind of like takes you away.
That is a lot of guano. That is a significant amount of guano.
It is indeed. So yeah, I think the question we get the most is, what is it? It's like, wow, it looks really amazing, but what are you doing? And hopefully it's the kind of thing where people see us playing like this, and when we show it, people can walk up and play it and really understand what it's about.
Does the line that you're controlling, does it have a sense of momentum, or are you in like constant pinpoint surgical control of it?
No. I mean, there's a bit of momentum to it, and then I can speed up, and also I can kind of get a little momentum here if I speed along. It'll. Yeah, it's pretty expressive.
Okay. So much guano. I've never seen that much guano in my life.
It's gonna be yellow.
Cool. So was there anything else that you wanted to show here? Any other environments, or you feel like that gives us a pretty good look?
These are the three that we have right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it kind of shows how each space is very different from the other, and what you're doing in every world is also very different from the last.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. So yeah, give us the rundown on it. When is it coming out? Is it PS4 only? Is it other Sony platforms?
No, it's PS4, PS3, and Vita.
Oh, okay.
And it supports cross-save, so you can save and resume on any platform. And we don't have a release date yet, but it's coming very, very soon. We're in the home stretch. So
cool. All right. Well, thank you for coming by and giving us a little taste of Hohokum and a little bit of a taste of guano as well.
Thanks.